I am an amazing individual. And I say this because all these other people who make these type of videos, they get these models, they put them on the thumbnail, they put them in the video like, oh, you got to do this, your eyes have to be like this, your nose and your jaw and your eyes and all this other stuff. Yeah, you got to be all like this. And it's just other people. I kind of thought, I can really break the mold. I can really be different. I'm going to use myself as an example for the handsome face, because I am the epitome of male attractiveness. With that being said, let's get started. So hair. I'll first tackle the long hair versus short hair dilemma. So obviously I have much longer hair than average, although it's not super long. It used to be longer, it used to be like down here. The way to know if you should have long hair or short hair is, if it's not completely obvious to you whether your hair is really nice or it's really bad, just grow out your hair and see how many compliments you get on it. If your long hair looks good, you're going to get compliments on it. If your long hair looks bad, you're not going to get compliments. It's that simple, okay? Because long hair is very polarizing. It's either really nice or it's really bad on men. And also, a rule of thumb for long hair is if you look like a man, if you look really masculine, like me, and I'll explain why later, you can pull off long hair. If you look like a girl, if you look feminine, don't try rocking a long hair. You're going to look even more like a girl. You need to have something else. As far as other haircuts go, I hear there's like tapers are popular. If you have a big forehead, you can kind of get the haircuts that cover it a little bit. Hair isn't really that complicated. If you're on a complete retard, you can just look at people that kind of look like you and see what hair they rock and then do that. I think the main dilemma is the long hair versus short hair dilemma. And as far as taking care of your hair, shampoo once a week. Unless you have a bunch of product gunked up in your hair, then you can wash a little bit more, but once a week. Then use conditioner every single day. And I use a leave-in conditioner, and when I go out, I add a curl cream, and a mousse. That's it. Don't overcomplicate your hair routine. The more products you generally, the worse it's going to be. You need to find a happy balance. I know my exposures went up a lot, and my iPhone is not really working with me. Anyways, skin. Going down from the hair to the skin. Skin should be clear. Now, there's two types of clear skin. There's the more rough, manly type of clear skin. Then there's the really classic, like the Korean e-boy type of skin. These both are passable. These are both fine. They're both clear. In order to get clear skin, it really starts with your habits. Because a lot of people, they have a bunch of acne all over the face, and they just go to tretinoin or they go to Accutane and just, try to patch it. It's like a Band-Aid. But you're really just sidestepping an actual issue you have. You should have your face, I don't care if you're going through puberty, your face shouldn't be full of acne all over the place. This is caused by eating breakfast. Insulin's too high, creates extra sebum, which is unnecessary. Sugar, obviously. And washing your face, believe it or not. Okay, a lot of people, they wash their faces and their skin just gets worse and worse and worse. This whole wash your face and your skin's going to be amazing stuff is propaganda. Don't listen to it. Don't wash your face. I do use tretinoin, but I used it after I was able to achieve clear skin. I just did it to really enhance it. So I'm not against using any of these type of products. Just use them after you've achieved clear skin. And we're going to talk about body fat now, because I guess I could talk about body fat when it comes to the jaw, but I'm just going to talk about it now. Lowering your body fat percentage is crucial towards achieving a more attractive face. Now, I have two facial flaws, I would say. Both of which are really inconsequential. One has to do with my eyes, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see it in this lighting. I'll point it out later. And then my body fat's a little bit high, okay? My bone structure is really nice, so you can't really tell that much, but, it should be a little bit more. My face should be a bit more leaner. And the reason why I'm not lean enough right now is because I am trying to build muscle. So don't worry too much about facial leanness. If you do everything else right, you're going to look okay. All right, you don't have to be super lean, but leanness does help with your face. Now, bloating is something that makes your face look a bit fatter than it actually is. It's just water retention. You could do like facial exercises like this to push the water out, lymphatic massage. You reduce your salt a little bit, eat less carbs. There you go. Bloating taken care of. Now we're talking about eyes. We're going down. We're blazing through this list because I'm amazing. Your eyes, we're going to start up top with your eyebrows. Your eyebrows should be dark and dense. Dark and dense. Okay, you know when they'd say like tall, dark, and handsome as the optimal male archetype, the dark part refers to tan skin and dark features like dark hair, dark eyebrows, dark facial hair. That's what it's referring to. And as I say, eyebrows are a part of that. If your eyebrows are really thin, then use minoxidil and apply it to your eyebrows. Okay? Or you can, I heard also castor oil makes it seem more dense as well. And if your eyebrows are dense but they're really light, so they don't really come off as dark, you can dye them a little bit of a darker color, because that's going to happen if you're like blonde. Your eyebrows can be dense, but it's light blonde, so it's not really that dark. You can dye it a little bit of a darker color than it actually is. As far as grooming them, you want to use a plucker, a tweezer. Yeah, tweezer. That's what it's called. Tweeze wherever possible. If you have to shave, for example, mine, I'm letting this part grow out because some people have been compared to. And you want another tip, quick tip. If you get compared to certain people, look at how their facial hair works, look at their, like, how they style their eyebrows and etc., their fashion style, and see what you can get from it. Unless you get compared to ugly people, then people are just making fun of you. But this part I'm letting grow out, but sometimes in this area, you grow your hair kind of weird and it's hard to pluck. In that case, you can shave it and use one of those detail razors that you brush across your skin in order to get rid of the extra hair. In between the eyes, you want to pluck, always. Try never to shave that because it's going to make this stubble kind of look after a day. And as far as where to pluck and where not to pluck, you don't want to go too deep with it. You want to overdo it because you're going to end up looking like a girl at a certain point. Just keep it very simple. I would say there's almost never any reason to touch this part of your eyebrows. This part, if it's flares a little bit too much, then just bring it down just a little bit. And this part, you want to just run your finger up there and just like that. It's pretty simple. It's not too complicated. It's not rocket science. Now we're going to get down to the nose. There's not really much you can do for your nose. Thankfully, nose isn't that important. Small nose, big nose, doesn't really matter. We're men. For women, nose matters a lot more. Big nose on a woman almost never looks good. Now, talking about mouth. Okay? Actually, I skipped some part about the eyes. Excuse me. For your eyes, you don't want... Some people, and this happens especially if you're sleep deprived, the number one way to improve your eyes is get more sleep. But some people, you don't want the white under your eyes to show. So some people are like, kind of like that, pulling it down. You can bring them up. Okay, don't worry. You can do this exercise where you just kind of do this. See that? And just keep doing that. It's going to strengthen the muscles under your eyes, and it's going to help keep your under eyes up. And it's also going to help your skin later on not sag as much. And as far as bringing your eyebrows down, I'm not really sure if there's much you can do in that regard. My eyebrows are always super low set. You just relax your forehead. Because some people just they're really tense up their forehead a lot. Just keep it down. All right. And in general, features that are more. Actually, I'll say that for the end. It's gonna be a bow on the whole entire video, or at least for this part of the video. Who cares? All right, mouth. So you want a nice smile. You want things to go up. You also want white teeth, obviously. You want the ends of your lips to go up. Now, I used to have a smile like this. My smile right now is beautiful, but my smile used to be more like this. That kind of the type of smile you had when you're like 5 years old. And that's because your muscles around your lips aren't strong enough. In order to strengthen the muscles, in order to get more of a curved smile, you do this. If you've never done that before, if you do it, then you're going to feel it. Just a few reps. And then after just a few days, they're going to be strengthened, and you're going to be able to, the corners of your lips are actually going to go up, and you have a proper smile. Now, we're going to talk about teeth. Okay, teeth, just get whitening strips. Okay, as far as the whitening goes. Now, if your teeth are super crowded, this is a sign of bad oral posture. So you have to mew. And mewing, I made a whole video about mewing, but in layman's, gather some spit on your tongue and swallow it just using your tongue, no cheeks. So I'll do it right now. And at the end of it, you're going to realize your tongue kind of gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. You're not just putting it on the roof of your mouth, but when you swallow, it creates this like suction hold. Low battery remaining, don't care. It creates this kind of suction hold to the top of your mouth. That's the state you want to be in 24/7. Okay? Obviously, aside from the time you're eating and all this other stuff. And if your mouth is crowded also, this won't really help if the bottom of your teeth are crowded. That I think you need braces at that point. Or maybe if you mew and your face develops a bit more and widens, it can fix itself. But if the top of your teeth are crowded, you can do something called thumb pulling. Now, don't go too far with this. If it hurts, don't do it anymore. And also, don't pull too hard. Okay, basically, you get your thumbs and you do this. Want to pull out. Now, it's going to help your cheekbones. It's going to make you more attractive, but also it's going to help the crowding in your mouth. It's going to give more. It's going to expand your palate, which is going to give your teeth more space to take. Okay, it's going to help with crowding. Lips, obviously, just don't have them be crusty. Brush them with your toothbrush. Use lip balm if they're a bit dry. Let's see what else. What's next? Jaw. All right, so jaw. I talked about mewing. That's very important for the jaw, and also chewing. But you don't want to go overboard with chewing. Everyone just says chew, but sometimes people chew and they end up messing up one of their ratios. In general, and by the way, I've gone on all the incel forums. I know it's mathematically attractive. You understand men don't really understand what's attractive 99% of the time. But this is one thing that these type of people mess up. They say, well, you should chew. Just chew. And chew rigorously in order to induce hypertrophy of the masseters. Now, if your jaw is very narrow, that's a good thing. But if your jaw is like mine, for example, growing it anymore is not really going to help that much. It's going to actually be counterproductive. You're going to start looking like a cartoon character. You're going to start looking really bloated all the time. In general, if you want your jaw to be a little bit less than your zygomatic. This is your zygomatic bone right here. This is your zygomatic ratio. This is your bigonial ratio. These are your gonians here. You want this to be a little bit more inside than this. Just a little bit. Now, if mine was like all the way here, then chewing would be good. But at this state, like this is a good representation here. At this state, you don't need to chew anymore. Aside from your diet when you're just eating meat and all those other healthy foods. You don't need to do any specialized chewing at that point. Let's see, what else for jaw? To be honest, that's it, really. And then we're going to talk about facial hair. So facial hair is an accentuation, okay? There's different types of face. I guess I'll just talk about what testosterone does to the face. High testosterone faces look like mine. And I'm not even joking about that. I'll be a bit more professional here, if you will. More wide faces, to an extent. I mean, I guess even more. Not really. Like, if your face gets... There's a range of facial width that's attractive. So mine is very compact. Mine is very wide. And some people have... This is like the mid-face ratio. Or no, not the mid-face. The facial width to height ratio. Mine is like this. This is very wide. Now, some people... And you do it from the top of your lip to the top of your eyebrow. Some people are more like this, and that's still attractive. And even like this is attractive. Mine is like on the very end of what's attractive, because it's like, this is about as wide as it can get before you look like an alien. Some people are more like this, and that's still okay, right? If your face is really compact, like mine, really wide like mine, then what you want to do with your facial hair is you want to lengthen it. So for me, see, my sides are a lot shorter than my front. Okay, now if your face, instead of being like this, is more like this, low testosterone, but it's okay, still within the positive range. What you want to do is you want to have it all be even, and if your hair and your face is like really, not long, I don't know if I was calling it wide the whole time, but if your face is really wide and more like this, kind of looking like a horse. When you see like a horse face, or face being really long, that's what we're talking about, like a really tall face, then you want to have this part be a little bit shorter than the rest. Okay, that's how you use facial hair to improve your facial ratios and to accentuate what's good about you and hide what's bad. Now, if you can't grow facial hair, what you have to do is very simple. Get minoxidil, like I said earlier, for your eyebrows. Apply it to your face after using a derma roller. It costs like $5 on Amazon, and use it on your face. It's that simple, bro. That's all you got to do. And obviously, have good habits. Get out in the sun, eat healthy food, work out, etc. This is all going to improve your face. Now, an underrated aspect will be your neck. So my neck is pretty thick, naturally. Probably because I carry this massive, handsome, sexy skull of mine. But you want your neck to be about as wide as your jaw, generally speaking. And to train neck, just put a plate on your head and do a bunch of neck curls on the end of the thing like that, end of the bench, while it's hanging off. And some people say, oh, you have to do it the other way too, but truthfully, I mean, most of us are on the computers all day nerd necking. So you don't really need to do this if you're nerd necking all day, because you're already training those muscles. What you need to do is the front one, just like that. That's going to help you improve your posture, one, and also it's going to improve your attractiveness. A little pencil neck never looks good. Very underrated aspect of getting more attractive. Now, let's see, where do I want to go now? I already talked about, generally speaking, if you have high testosterone, all the features I said are going to come naturally to you. But we're going to talk about, so the type of woman you want to attract. Because this is really one of the reasons why I'm going to get more handsome. We want to be more respected, and we want women to like us. Okay, that's it. Okay, if you're saying anything else, you're just lying. Oh, I want to be more handsome, to like myself more. Really, bro. Anyways. So, with girls, I'm assuming you want a more traditional feminine girl. You don't want one of these newer girls who kind of just promiscuous. A bit more like, oh, well, I do this and I'm a boss girl and all this other garbage. You want a more traditional one. In that case, you have to look more manly. And this is a bit of counter to the advice they would give you now, and my camera's getting a little bit too exposed. The sun is going next to my window. I think that looks okay. One of the issues now with the advice I give is it's more pretty boy stuff. And there's like pretty boy chat and hypermasculine. I'm not going to go over all that stuff. It's pointless. But the pretty side is more like, well, the TikTok-y boys, you know what they look like. That's the more pretty boy. And that's to say, well, that's the optimal archetype. For young girls that are completely modernized and brainwashed by things like feminism, yes, that is optimal. But if you want a woman that's actually going to cook and clean, behave herself, be a biblical feminine woman, then you need to look like a man. Okay? You're asking for an actual woman. Okay? I just got that was a funny notification, but you're looking for an actual woman. You have to be an actual man. You have to look like an actual man. Actual men have facial hair. I'm not saying you have to grow a big, massive beard. It could be something like mine. This is nothing too crazy. It could be could be just a goatee, could be just a mustache, although that's a bit niche. And same thing goes for your eyebrows. You want them to be dark, your hair, you want it to be nice, etc. But you want to look like a man. You want to have a masculine facial structure. Okay? If you want to, because like I'm really the best example of this. You want an example of a masculine facial structure, literally just look at my face. And if you don't believe me, like, oh, this guy's lying, this guy's LARPing, as they say, go on Google, look up facial width to height ratio, and you're going to see higher testosterone faces, more manly faces that do better in dating and do better in combat, and etc. look like mine. Okay? And the way you achieve it is by improving your testosterone, picking the right parents, that's obviously a part of it, but mewing, getting out in the sun. When you get in the sun, take your cock and balls out, and that's going to help too. All this stuff helps. Now, not only do you want to attract a traditional feminine woman, you probably also want to attract a certain race of woman. And this is where it kind of becomes uncontrollable for you. Because in general, as far as traditional ethnic women go, well, I guess ethnic for me because I like Latinos, they're generally going to be attracted to their own race, unless they're Asian. Then they're going to like white people no matter what. But traditional ethnic Latinos generally prefer Latinos. And they can also go white. Usually they don't go black. And they almost never go Asian. It's usually either Latino or white. That's for Latino. That's for Latinos. Then for white, traditional white women usually just go for white men, etc. I'm not going to do this whole chart because you have to do this. It's supposed to be all this BS. But you want to, when you go out, you want to pay attention to the type of woman you get looks from. So for me, the number one group, I get it from all women, but the number one group is ethnic older Latinas. I say older because, well, one, I don't have a massive sample size of younger Latinas, unfortunately. But older ones that have come from another country. That's the number one group that I get the most looks from, and the number one group that's the most thirsty for. I'm not going to get into the stories, but that's the number one group. That means I'm doing the right thing. I'm appealing to the group I'm going for. You want to do the same thing. If you want a white woman, okay, and you're appealing and you're going outside and you're getting all these warm signals from black women, then you're probably not doing something right. You're probably not dressing the right way. You're probably maybe something to do with their facial hair, etc. You just want to look, which groups do I do best with? And I try different looks and see what different groups of women think about it. And you can tell just by going around the world and seeing which women look at you. It's that simple. I guess I want to wear certain outfits. Black women seem to like me a bit more, and white women seem to like me a bit more with certain outfits, and Latinas seem to always like me no matter what. I know this sounds autistic. I know this sounds weird. I know it's like, oh, well, what the hell is this guy talking about? I don't even understand. Trust me, bro. One day you're going to understand. The first time, if you've never experienced this, it's a great experience. The first time you have a woman look at you and actually be like, wow, or some other BS like that. I'm not going to emulate the expression because it's kind of gay, although I just kind of did. Let me fix the exposure on this again. Once you experience it, you're going to know. Okay, you're going to know they like you. And it's going to be nice. They're going to be able to start picking up on it and start being able to pick up on little body language cues and speech patterns, etc. They're going to understand, okay, well, this girl likes me. Then just look at the type of girl she is. If she's the complete opposite of what you want, then you probably need to do something different. And it's also pretty obvious, like, if you want a hood ghetto girl, which I don't understand why the hell you'd want that, but if you did, well, dress more streetwear. Wear Jordans, sag your pants a little bit. T-shirts, like Gucci belt. I don't know what the hell. I think that's that's what it was when I used to dress kind of like that. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I think I've told you enough. If I tell you any more information, your brain's gonna explode from all this amazing information you're being told. Now, Christian men need to get more attractive. Christian men always look like men not worthy of respect. We'll leave it at that. If you want to join the movement building by Christian men, click the link in the description. For the Discord, follow me on Instagram, like all my posts, because my Instagram is amazing. Subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. Play this in the description to change your life. Those are my call to actions. See you next video.